Hello and welcome. You're watching Money 9. I'm Krishna Kumar. And on this Money 9 special, we are going to be discussing investments in real estate. Should you just buy property when it comes to investing in real estate, or should you invest in real estate investment trusts or REITs, or infrastructure investment trusts or InvITs? To help us make the right decision, the smart decision, we have a very special guest joining us, and that is Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, co-founder and managing director of Hiranandani Group.
Hello, Mr. Krishna Kumar. Nice to meet you.
Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, thank you so much for joining us here on this Money 9 special. I want to begin by asking you one thing. There's so much being said about the property market right now. In your view, how does it stand in India? Where does the property market stand after the second wave of the pandemic?
Mr. Krishna Kumar, this is one of the best times for persons to buy a property. I've never seen better times where property prices have been stable for a period of 3 to 5 years. It's never happened in spite of inflation. The interest rates of home loans is the lowest ever, less than 7% on a 15-year, 20-year loan, which is unbelievable. If you look at inflation rates of 5%, the real interest cost is only 2% if you look on that. And and if you take the tax rebate that is available for home loans within a certain bracket, I think you are almost getting an interest-free loan for 10 to 15 to 20 years. So I think right time to buy property is for those people who want to buy a house or want to acquire it for the purposes of investment. It's a great deal at this point of time. I don't think a situation like this was ever there before.
All right, that's interesting. This comes at a time when you also have other alternative modes of investment into real estate, which didn't exist in India for the longest period of time. Something like the real estate investment trusts or REITs, which were listed in India only just a couple of years ago, but it has found some traction. Help us understand, where do REITs as an investment avenue stand for the average investor?
So, Mr. Krishna Kumar, let me give a little longish answer. First of all, let me explain to our viewers what is a REIT. The REIT is an investment done by an institution for the purposes of doing properties which are almost all rented out. So you get a secure kind of return or a semi-secured return over a period of time, and it's invested into a property. So there are two components of the income that comes to a REIT. One, which comes in terms of rental income, which is a secured one, and the REIT is required to dividend out 90% of the income every year. So that becomes a major matter in terms of the returns that you get. So by and large, REITs have two returns. One, in terms of returns on interest, which is dividend out, or in terms of capital gains over a period of time. In the case of InvITs, you get a return because they are relating to infrastructure projects. So that is an advantage. The advantage of a REIT or an InvIT, as distinguished from equity, that there is a lower amount of risk in terms of investment into a REIT, and also the fact that you can put smaller amounts into a REIT, 50,000 now. Originally it was 2 lakhs of rupees minimum, and this combination of the fact makes it easy for a common person to invest into a property. The only difference, Mr. Krishna Kumar, is that you really cannot use the property. While in the case of actually buying a property, giving it out on rent, if tomorrow you want it for your children, for your future, and other aspects of it, you have solid property, not just a piece of paper. So I think that is an advantage to it. And in the years of inflation, nowadays you don't have high rates of inflation. In the good old days, you would have 8%, 9% inflation rates. The property prices constantly zoomed around and all. But even today, looking at steel and other cement prices, it's obvious that the properties in terms of rates are going to go up over a period of time. if such high rates of building materials are going to continue to grow. So there is a huge opportunity, into investment into property, and as you mentioned, alternative investments into REITs or InvITs.
Okay, so let's compare these two for all those watching this Money Nine special. When they have a certain sum of money stored up, in this market, is it better to invest in plain vanilla property, or is it better to invest in a REIT? What is the cost benefit analysis, in terms of returns from investment? Because when it comes to generating income, we know that REITs is mandated to generate regular income, but the returns on the REITs so far over the last couple of years have been similar to the yields on, say, safe bonds or post office saving schemes. So if you would do a cost benefit analysis, in terms of the cost of the investment and the returns that you get, which one comes out better?
So obviously, investment into properties is going to give you a higher yield over a period of time. That's no doubt about that. But you got to be patient investor, and you have to remember that the entry and exit into a property is not so easy. You have to pay stamp duty, you have to see the property, you have to see the title, and all the other aspects of it for buying the property. In the case of REITs or InvITs, you don't have to worry. Just go to the stock exchange, do it, speak to your broker, connect it into it, and you can immediately buy a property, a REIT, which you can do across the table within seconds, if not maybe minutes. But in the case of buying a property, it's a long-winded process, and also the fact that it takes some time in order to exit into a property. But the returns are definitely higher in case of purchasing of a property over a period of time. And second, as I mentioned earlier, you can live in the property or you can rent it out. And suppose you have children and others, you can temporarily rent it out and you can keep it in the future for your children. And if the children don't want to use the property, you can take capital appreciation into the property and use that funds for the purposes of the future of your children. So in both ways, the long-term idea of buying a house and property makes better sense. But when you have smaller amounts of money, then REITs and InvITs is good, and especially for people who do not want to take the risk of buying a property, then REITs and InvITs would make better sense.
Right. Having said that, Mr. Hiranandani, there are exactly 3 REITs that are listed in India, 3 REITs available for investment. There's Brookfield, and a couple of others. Talk to us, these 3 REITs and the way they've performed over the last 2 years since they've been listed. What needs to be kept in mind before people go to invest their money in REITs?
So by and large, the REITs are excellent. All 3 of them have done extremely well. And over a period of time, they will only do better. Do better because of the COVID times. Properties in terms of leasehold properties have been challenged because people have been working from home. So obviously the returns which you see in terms of appreciation of the REITs are not so good. But over a period of time, you'll definitely see appreciation in the REITs, which will be much more. But remember, worldwide, Krishna Kumar, it's not, people don't invest into REITs so much for capital appreciation, but for a steady flow of income. So that's the difference in terms of a worldwide perception of what REITs and InvITs are, and capital appreciation is a secondary factor. And hence, most people, when they they actually go for the REITs, they want to say, oh, I want a secure return for my family and the future. And I'm not looking at as much into capital appreciation as I would in terms of buying a house or buying equity into the marketplace. That's the major distinction of how I would like to position a REIT and an InvIT.
Right. And you're talking about REITs in India, and REITs in India, all 3 of them are focused on office properties, because REITs across the world invest in any income generating property. It could be a mall, hotel, anything. But in India, all the 3 REITs focus on office properties. And we've seen how work from home has literally taken over the work culture in India and across the world. And there's so much talk of office space demand taking a hit. How much of a risk is it to invest in an Indian REIT that focuses on office space?
I am very certain that there is almost zero risk in long term in terms of investing into a REIT in the commercial markets which are there today. They are all invested into super AAA rated properties. They are beautiful properties. They are all given to multinationals and other companies. Of course, during COVID time, there could be some vacancies which could not be predicted, but the properties are so good that they are definitely going to be taken up soon. Could be short-term vacancies, but not long-term problems. So I don't see a risk profile at all in terms of the REITs or InvITs. Also, the fact that properties over a period of time could become more valuable, and so you may, at the end of it, maybe 5-10 years, also see a capital appreciation in terms of the properties which are there, which may not be available in the case of an InvIT. So this is a major distinction again between a REIT and an InvIT.
All right. So in that case, then if somebody has a smaller sum of money to invest, would you say between a REIT and an InvIT, a REIT is a better option in the current scenario?
Short term, both are good. In the long term, the REIT invested into commercial property would be definitely preferred by me rather than an InvIT, for the simple reason that there is a potential of the property having value. In the case of InvITs, they are into highways and other things. Sometimes the period of the highway concession gets ended in 20 years, 30 years, at the end of which there is no value. While in the case of a property, the property value can only appreciate. So in the short run, hardly any difference in terms of returns, etc. But in the long term, I do think REITs will perform better than InvITs, by and large. I mean, you can't, there's no blanket way of judging that, Mr. Krishna Kumar, but that's my preference, at least at the moment.
Right. Clearly property investment is a completely lifelong, extremely long-term horizon kind of a thing. And when you say short-term, both REIT and InvIT are good, what is the short-term that you suggest people start out with? Say if somebody has about a very small sum of money, can't buy a complete property, decides to invest in a REIT or an InvIT, what is the short-term horizon that they should be looking at to stay invested?
So I would consider a 3-year scenario to be the kind of a minimum position that would really be worthwhile. And I think in the long term, as I said, people could just keep that as a savings and forget about the REIT maybe over a period of 5 to 10 years. But having said that, I think an optimum period would be anything between 3 to 5 years.
All right, that's a short-term horizon for REIT and an InvIT. And at this stage, what should people look to do? Say if somebody has about 50,000 rupees saved, should they look to save more money and then look for a good property investment? Because as you started out by talking, this is a great time to invest in proper physical property. Or should they just take the money that they have and start investing in REITs and then take it as time goes by? Because we've seen there's so many job losses and pay cuts in these times. Not many people have a huge corpus to buy property with in this market.
It's a very difficult question which you have asked, Mr. Krishna Kumar, and the answers are very individualistic. So if I've lost a job, I obviously can't get a property, and I can't think of a property at this point of time. But having said that, if people during their lifetime don't invest in a home or a house, I think there's a jeopardy, because there's no social security available in India, and a house and a shelter is absolute necessity. So the earlier you invest into a house, even if it's a 1-bedroom house or a studio house or a 2-bedroom house, depending on your stature in society and the income levels that you do, I would strongly recommend buying a house, at least one house for yourself, even if it's a small house, even if you're not using it yourself. Buy one house at least in order to secure yourself. You never know in the next couple of years if there is a very high level of inflation. You'll never get a house again, and it becomes extremely difficult. And let's presume at that point of time, interest rates are very high. Then your capability of being able to pay the EMI and service the loan also is in jeopardy. So today is the right time to really go ahead and buy a house. Many people say, oh, I can get cheaper on rentals today. But that impression may not continue forever. And it may not be in a place where you would like to live. So I think choice of buying a house over a period of time is a necessity in India. In America and Western countries, it's all right because you have Social Security to help you when you retire or you have an old age. But in India, a shelter is something you must have.
All right. Quickly, let's getting back to REITs and InvITs. I want to understand with the kind of returns that they are giving, how better are they when compared to other avenues for fixed income investments that are available? Why should people choose a REIT or an InvIT over others?
Well, today I think the opportunity on the REITs and InvITs is pretty good. And you will see that those can anyway but grow. So, for instance, InvITs are connected with highways and other things where the amount of collection over a period of time is increasing with the amount of travel that takes place and other things. So, you are going to see returns better and better over a period of time, even in the case of InvITs. As I mentioned to you about residential and commercial opportunities, inflation is the reason why those values are definitely going to go up. So by and large, both look exciting, but you have to see what suits you more. So many people want security, 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 and I would definitely look at security in terms of a REIT.
All right. I'm afraid we've run out of time with that. We will leave it at that. But thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here on this Money Line special, Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, and helping us understand what should we go for when it comes to investing in real estate. Should we buy property? Should we buy REIT or InvITs? And as you've been saying, it completely depends upon the individual needs and situations. Thank you so much for being with us. With that, it's a wrap here on this Money 9 special. Thank you so much for watching. You need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us across all social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. @Money9 Live is our handle. You can also log on to our website, www.money9.com, for all the latest from the world of personal finance. Thank you for watching. This is Krishna Kumar signing off. Keep it with Money 9.